it's Melissa in her kitchen, and today I'm going to make up a couple bread mixes from our Pampered Chef mixes that we have. We're going to work on the caramel latte bread, and then we're going to do the apple spice beer bread. And we have other mixes too. These are just a few. We have Italian herb bread. They're really easy to mix up and have for your meals. We have brownie mix, and we have chocolate chip mix. Now the great thing I love about these is that there's no additives, and they're really good and yummy, and no fillers and stuff like that. So we're going to do a little spin though. I was in a Facebook party, and so we're going to, they voted for me to turn this caramel latte bread into salted caramel latte bread. So we're going to do a little twist on that today. And then what we're going to do with the apple spice bread, beer bread mix, is I don't have any beer, but you can use any kind of soda or ginger beer or whatever to, as long as it has some little bit of carbonation in it, to do that. And we're going to make apple cider donuts with them. So we're going to get busy, and here we go. So first of all, I have my 4-quart mixing bowl, and we're just going to put our, I'm just going to follow the instructions here, but I'm going to do a little bit of twist. They're really simple. It calls for 2 eggs. So we're going to go ahead and put our eggs in here. Get that started. And I'm going to be mixing this up with the flex system and show y'all a few things how that works, because I love the flex system. You can carry it around anywhere with you, to camping or anywhere you need to go, to your mom's house. We're also going to put our liquids in first, so I'm going to do that. So then we get a 1/2 cup of water. So I've got my measuring cup here. Let me get a 1/2 cup. And if you put your liquids in first, that keeps your powder pretty much from sticking to the bottom. And then it's going to call for a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, but I'm actually going to use grapeseed oil. So a lot of times I substitute grapeseed and, let me see, maybe sure I didn't, yeah. I'm going to make sure I didn't put too much water in there. I substitute grapeseed and olive oil in my baking, and just make sure when you use the olive oil that it's really mild flavor. You don't want to get the really strong, extra virgin tasting ones. So put that over here. And then, so we've got our liquids in, and now we're going to do the powder, the mixing, sorry. So we got all that in. Dump this in here. It smells, ooh, it smells like coffee. In there. And then we're going to take our flex system, and these are the beaters that they have, and we're just going to snap this into here like that, just really simple. And then we're going to add our battery, which I have had charging over here, and it is like having power tools in the kitchen. Now we have our beaters, so I'm going to use these right here. Now there's, if you'll notice, the 2 ends are different, just like on any other mixer. So they have a little picture here of which one to put them in. Really simple. And then we have a safety key button here. So we turn that on. And then I want my power to kind of be up. Let's see, it looks like I have it all ready to go. To turn and then there's another safety feature here. We're going to mix this together. You don't have to mix it really a lot. You don't want to pump a lot of air into it. This smells like a cup of coffee, which I need. I haven't had mine yet this morning. Now that looks like it's pretty much done. That looks yummy. Now, what I'm going to do to make this salted caramel, let me take this off. I'm going to take the battery off of it, turn the power, We're gonna just put the battery aside. Just gonna lay those right there. And then what we're gonna do now is I'm actually gonna scoop out a little bit. Look at these great holiday spatulas they have out now. I'll just scrape out a little bit of this. Probably about, I got one pan here. I don't have my muffin. I was gonna make muffins with them, but I don't have my muffin pan. It's in storage. So, because we're building a house and we're living in a little smaller space. So I did about a half a cup out of here. Okay. We'll set that aside because I'm gonna show you what we'll do with that in a minute. But for what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to, so I can fill my muffin tin easily and evenly, I'm going to pour my batter into my batter dispenser. I love this thing. I think every kitchen needs to have one. So, almost there. Oh. This does make me want a cup of coffee. Okay, this is the perfect type of bread to make during the holidays because it's all spicy smelling. Okay, I'm gonna set this over here. And when you put this batter dispenser in, you want to go in kind of sideways to get all the extra air out of it, or else you're gonna have to get as close you can to the batter. And this slides down and clicks right in place. And so we're gonna put, this has 3 little dots here, so we're gonna put it on the 3rd dot to make it put the right amount into our brownie pan. Now, on our brownie pan here, I'm just gonna, even though it's non-stick, I always like to spray it just a little bit. So I'm gonna pump our spritzer up. I love using this thing because it's just straight up oil, no aerosols or anything in it. I just grease them a little bit. Like that, I got it greased. All right, so now we're gonna dispense, this is a little drip pad, so I'm gonna take it off and I'm gonna dispense my batter. One squeeze will fill these up. So I'm wondering if that's too much. I'm gonna try the middle button. Yeah, let's put it on there's 3 dots, so I'm gonna do it on the middle button. On a muffin tin, you would tend to do it on the larger dot. So this typically will make 1 loaf of bread, but for us, it's gonna make 9 muffins. Okay, now, what I wanna do, I did fill this one too much here. I washed my hands off. There. I did fill this one too much because we're gonna put a little extra in them. So what I'm gonna do is get a little scooper out, spoon. And I'm actually gonna move some of that into, we could probably get 10 muffins out of this. 10 or maybe 12. I was just going to town in my little dispenser, forgetting that I had to add more batter into this. So let's take some of these that are a little bit extra full. And because we're not, the bag says to bake the loaf pan for 40 minutes, but because we're doing muffins, we won't cook it that long. We'll just have to keep an eye on it after 15 minutes and see how it does. Yeah, we're gonna get 12 out of these because we're gonna add in, let's see. Yep, those look about even. Let's do a little bit more out of this one. Put it in the middle here. All right, so what we're gonna do with this is we are going to stir in some salted caramel syrup. I've got Ghirardelli sea salt caramel. So we're gonna get that little extra richness. And I'm not gonna stir it very much at all, just very lightly. So I'm gonna take a spoonful and put it in each muffin tin. It's gonna have that gooiness that'll go through the middle there. And then we're gonna have some yummy, yummy. All this on the side. Yeah, just enough into there. I think I am going to take a little bit out of here, which you can do. Put it in here. Spread it around evenly. All right, so I'm gonna wipe the little where I dripped. And see, I'm not the perfect baker. You can always improvise in the kitchen. When I was a kid, I wanted to be, or when I was not a kid, I wanted to be Wonder Woman. And then as I got older, I loved cooking. I wanted to be Martha Stewart. So, not quite there yet. But anyway, so we got our brownie pan, and we have our caramel latte, salted caramel latte muffins, and we're gonna put them in the oven for about 15 minutes. Now I'm gonna set my Pampered Chef timer to 15 minutes. And then we're gonna start on the beer bread. All right, I got that set. Now, our beer bread, I'm actually gonna use the same, I'm gonna leave that out. Oh, I won't. The same bowl, because we're mixing up a similar kind of bread and it has same flavors kind of, so it's not gonna hurt to do that. So we're gonna start doing that. Let me get this out of my way. And we're actually gonna make donuts with these. So the first thing that our beer bread says to do is we heated our oven to 350. That's the same thing the other ones are heating on. And then you want to put 12 ounces of a drink. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to combine, it's a full can. So I'm gonna do part of the ginger ale can and part of the apple cider to make it an apple cider donut. And this is really like mainly a 2 ingredient. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill my cup up to 6 ounces with the ginger ale. Actually, I'm gonna do 8 ounces with the ginger ale to give it more. And then let the bubbles go down. And then I'm gonna fill it up to the 12 with the apple cider. We'll set that on the counter so it'll be more accurate. And then I have my apple cider here. And you can get they can get carbonated apple cider, so you can do that too. Let's go up to the 12 mark. All right. So what we're gonna do with this, we're gonna put our liquids in again. There, it's fizzing. And then it says to put your 1/4 cup of diced apples. It's optional, but I did. I'm going to show you. I've already cut up the diced apples, but I used my paring knife to peel the apple. Then I've got my chef's knife, and I'm just going to slice my apple like this into little pieces. And then let me move this out of the way so you can see. And then we just chop it into little tiny bits like that, and then that, so we have an apple. It says 1/4 cup, so I'm not gonna be able to use all this. So we're just gonna put 1/4 cup, this is 1 cup measure. So we'll put 1/4 of those in there. And then we're going to put our batter in there. All right, so again, we're gonna get our flex system, and we're going to put the battery back on, push the safety feature here, and one up here. I got it on too high. Turn it down a little bit. So this is your high and low up here. Actually, works different than the emulsifier. That smells yummy. Just mix it up to all the dry. You don't want to over mix it. Now because I put the apples in here, I cannot use the batter dispenser, which I normally would for the donuts. So I'm just gonna use a little spoon. Actually, I'm gonna use a pastry bag, I think. I can use that. Just squirt them in there. All right, so I'm gonna immediately take off the battery. Saves the life of the battery. I'll put that back down there. So we have our batter mixed up. Smells really good. Put this aside. All right, so we have our batter. Apple batter, smells yummy. And let me get our donut pan. These are our donut pans here. I love how they look. And I love that this mix has nothing but two ingredients, really. You don't have to put the apples in there. So I'm gonna get my bag here. Let's try this. So I love these pastry bags right here. They come in a set. I used to own a bakery, so I'm all about decorating bags. So yeah, we're not gonna put anything in here. We're just gonna let the batter, I could put a coupler in there, but you know, I'm trying to debate. I think I will put the basic coupler in there because it holds sturdy. So this is the coupler that you would put on the inside, but we're not gonna use the, this kind of gives it a sturdiness right there at the bottom. Our apple pieces can still come. Now, you don't have to grease these because it's non-stickware, but just kind of sometimes with donuts, when they come out, we're gonna roll them in cinnamon. So I've never had a problem with my donuts sticking, but I'm just going to do that for safety reasons. I'm still living with the old mindset. So I'm gonna put some batter in here. Be sure that you drip the bag. Probably need to close the bag closed or you'll lose all your batter. I have these little clips too, but I haven't got one. So you just want to put your batter in there 3/4 full. There, like that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, here's what usually what I do is I get a glass and I set it down in there, and then I can, my batter doesn't spill over, drip out the bottom before I can get it. I can get it all in there, enough to squeeze out. And otherwise, you can just get a spoon and the old-fashioned way and spoon it in your donuts. We're gonna roll these in cinnamon sugar too. So that'll be yummy. Okay, so now I've got my bag full. I'm just gonna close it till I get it over here. I'm just gonna guide it. I don't know if you can see me doing that. Yep. And just barely squeezing because it's really coming out on its own. I love these donuts, but I made donuts last year. I made margarita donuts. You can take the vanilla recipe that Pampered Chef has online on my website, and you can just search for vanilla donut recipe. And I made margarita donuts. I made coconut donuts. You just take that one recipe and make so many different kinds of donuts with it. It's amazing. It was a really yummy, moist recipe too, so I highly recommend that recipe. If you ever can't find anything, just message me and I will send it over to you. All right, so we're gonna go on. All right, so I'm gonna put my bag back in there. We have this donut pan full. Now the same thing, it says cook it for 45 minutes or so, but you know, these are donuts. They're a lot smaller, a lot smaller space to cook. Wash my hands off there. So you don't want to, you know, bake them that long. You'll have bricks. So you wanna, so I always start out at 15 minutes, and then sometimes it's 20, 25 minutes, but I always start at 15 minutes because I don't know, I've got this new stove, so I don't know how it works. But there's one tray of donuts, and we're gonna see how many minutes we have left. Oh, one thing I forgot to do, it says we have to put melted butter across the donuts. So it says spread it evenly across the batter. But what we're gonna do, I've already melted butter here. I'm just gonna drizzle it on like this with my basting brush. There. See if you can see it more. Just letting it drip on because we don't have a big loaf, you know, to go across. So this is just easier to do it that way. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and put these, let's see how many minutes. We got 4 minutes left on the timer there, but I'm gonna actually put these in the oven as well. Ooh, our brownies are looking, our brownies are muffins, our square muffins are looking good. So I'm actually gonna get another pan here, and we're going to put some more. I'm thinking about doing is scooping this up. The spatula's not working. It's working okay, but probably need one of these. I think I need my big one. It has like a scoop on it, you know, so I can, it's like a quarter of a spoon. So see, now it holds a little bit more. And get that in there. All right, let's see. Hold my bottom down here. Probably just gonna be able to make another dozen. My family's gonna be happy when they come home to have some donuts and some muffins. If you don't put the apples in it, you can use the dispenser really easily. So, we might not get quite 2 dozen donuts, but we're gonna get a good bit, enough to eat, right? Because this normally makes 1 loaf. Alrighty, put that back up. This has kind of gotten messy, but that's okay. It's okay. How can you have a good baking episode without being too messy? There we go. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is I've got my little, they have, Pampered Chef has something for everything. I've got my little mini scraper here. I'm just gonna pour it in these other, what I had leak out the bottom of my bag. Pour it in here. Just enough for 1. So, we have almost 2 dozen. wait till those other ones get out of the oven before I put the butter on and get everything out of the way here. Because when the muffins come out, we are going to finish them off and get them ready to eat. So we are hopefully, they're going to be ready in a few minutes. Set these over here. So I have my little 2-prep bowl here, and I have we're going to use the emulsifier, and we're going to make like a little salted whipped cream for our muffins. I know I'm not going to exactly turn it into a cupcake, but we are going to make it a little scrumptious. Pretend we're at a gourmet coffee shop. All right, so I have my little thing there for my emulsifier, and I have whipping cream, and this, you can even use this leftover whipping cream we have. You can use it on a cold coffee like I did one video of. Got our heavy whipping cream there, and then I'm gonna squirt our salted caramel in here. It's gonna be our sweetener. My kids have been eating this bottle. I had that hidden in the refrigerator. Oh, there's our timer. You always wanna make sure your heavy whipping cream is always really, really cold. All right, so we're gonna keep that there. The timer is going off, so I'm gonna stop it and check on them. They're not quite done. They have about 3 or 4 minutes. And the way to check a muffin without sticking a cake tester in it is if it bounces back, it's done. But if it's still kind of wet, sticks to your finger, doesn't move much, then you want to leave it in there a few more minutes. So we're going to try about 3 more minutes, okay, on that. So I have my heavy whipping cream in here, and you can see the salted caramel fell to the bottom. And you know why it fell to the bottom? Because it's heavier in sugar. So we're going to take our little mixer blender apart. We're going to attach our emulsifier to it, and we're going to add our battery. Anytime you put the battery on, it's always last to the party and first to leave. And what this does is it saves your battery power from getting messed up. So then you have a little safety button there. And I think I'm gonna put the power higher. There's a little 5 slots here. I put on like 3. We'll see how that does. We're just gonna whip this till it's like icing consistency, but not quite butter, so we want a heavy whip. Really thick. Look at this. That is really thick. Now we don't want to take it all to butter, but I'm going to do a little bit more. This kind of liquid still on the bottom. Okay, that is really stiff whipped cream. So how can you tell stiff whipped cream? See, it doesn't drip at all off my so pretty stiff. Now down here at the bottom, doesn't look quite as stiff, so I'm gonna try a little bit more. If you go too far, you almost got butter. All right, we're good on that. So let me get my little spatula here, rinse it off. These mini scrapers are fantastic. So I'm going to scrape, so we're going to use this to put on our muffins when they come out. They cool down just a tad. So our donuts have been in the oven for our timer's about to go off for 8 minutes now. So then we'll reset the timer for them. All right, so I'm gonna take the battery off. And always put it where you know you won't get food spotted on it. And we'll take this off and stick it in some water. Here, lay that down. So now we have this yummy salted caramel whipped cream that we're going to put on top of our muffins. All right, so our timer's going off. So let me stop that. And let me check our muffins. Ooh, the donuts are looking great. So we got just like 1 more minute actually on the muffins. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm going to get our plate ready for the donuts. Now I have just regular sugar here and the Pampered Chef Corriente cinnamon. I'm probably not saying that correctly, but we're just gonna put it down here because I've mixed those up, like a teaspoon of cinnamon into a couple tablespoons of sugar, and we're gonna roll our donuts in that. I probably need to get a serving plate out when that's ready. So I'm gonna set that aside. So we've got that ready for when our donuts come out. And this over here. And we got our butter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna brush the donuts with butter, and then I'm going to roll them in the cinnamon sugar. Move all this over here. And I'll move my battery out of the way. And we have some sea salt because we're gonna just put a tad of sea salt on the muffins when they're done. So let me get a plate out for those. I live at the beach, and years ago I found these beautiful plates. Aren't they so cute? So we're gonna put them on the beach, a beach plate when they come out. And let me get it. Okay, it's about to come out, so let me get I love these little hot pads too, they're awesome. Yep, they look perfect. So I'm gonna set these right here. So see, they bounce back, they're perfect. That, yum, 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 yum. Okay, we'll put this other pan back in here, our donuts. All right, our donuts only have like a couple minutes left, so I'm going to set them for a couple minutes, let that go. Now, get these out of the pan just to show them. I'm gonna let them cool for a second. But I have my Pampered Chef spatula. Ooh, these are looking yummy. They're not too brown on the bottom. Oh, yum. Now your whipped cream's gonna melt if you put them on there right now. But the other thing we're going to do before that, we're going to, they're kind of hot to touch. Just going to go around and loosen it, because sometimes when you have batter that on the edges, they don't come up when they're so hot like this. This one's stuck a little bit, but that's okay. Let's do one more. Pull it away from the edges. These smell delicious. Okay, I'm gonna move this out of the way to cool down over here. All right, so now we have our yummy yummy, yummy, yummy caramel latte. So I'm going to, I didn't know my kids had been eating my salted caramel. So we're just gonna put a little drizzle on each one of them. Let it soak in. It'll melt. Yeah. I thought I hid that in the refrigerator. All right, because I told them I was gonna be doing a video. My kids love ice cream. We're kind of an ice cream family. Just gonna smooth, like a simple syrup. We're trying to do like a simple syrup soak on these. So they're gonna cool a minute. Now you can take your piping bag, or you can take just your little spatula. Oh, that fell off, didn't it? Okay, I'm gonna go grab, before I put this on there, I'm gonna go grab the donuts because they are done. Oh, let me turn that off first so you won't be annoyed. Those donuts are perfect. So what we're gonna do first, because I have to work with those, are hot, we're gonna let these cool down. So we'll just switch out what we're doing. And I'm gonna bring the donuts, get them a plate. Actually, I'm going to dump them out. I prefer to dump them out on a board. So here I have my Pepper Chef board. And my other, sometimes kids don't put things back in the wrap, so I have another one of these somewhere. So I'm gonna do with these, I'm just gonna flip them out. Ooh, look at that. Hot. They all came out but one, but I can see why. That one needs a little nudge. These little donuts. Here he comes. He's gonna fall out. So I'm actually gonna put those other donuts. These cooked like 10 minutes. So I'm actually gonna put the other ones on about 8 more minutes. Now we have these hot, okay? So we're just gonna brush them. We got our cinnamon sugar here. I'm gonna move all this out of the way so you can see. We do need a plate, don't we? One of my cute plates. So I'll move that out of the way too, so you can see right here. Oh, there it is. I had it out, but it was over on the other counter. All right, so we're just gonna slightly brush these with butter and roll them in the cinnamon mixture there. You wanna work kind of fast. Roll it around that. Let's do like 2 at a time. Flip them on the cinnamon, baste them again, flip them over. Ooh, these smell so delicious. I'm gonna do that. And they're hot. This is really quick to do. Oops, I didn't baste that side, did I? Threw it on the wrong side. All right, let's baste these. Let them get soaked a little bit. And when you're doing the margarita donuts, that's what's fun. You just baste them with a simple syrup, and then you put lime zest on them, and a margarita, sorry, I should say a margarita simple syrup. Very yummy. So these two. There. Got a fly that got trapped in here and I've been shooing him away. I can't catch him. So he smells the donuts too, but I'm not gonna let him have them. All right, so now is our taste testing. All right, so I'm actually going to get a paper towel. One of the joys of Florida. All right, let's try our beer bread, apple spice beer bread. That is so yummy. And the apple right there. That is really good. Very apple flavor. The cinnamon is perfect. Those are worth making. And not very hard to do. So you can do this in a loaf pan, muffin tin, donut pan, whatever you want to make. So I'm gonna get something to cover those up. And then we'll work on our muffins. All right, so I've got those covered up. And we're gonna bring our muffins here. And we already have, the caramel setting up. So now we can add a little dollop. You can use a baking bag, decorator bag, or you can use just this to decorate it. Put this on right before you serve it. So I better not do more than two because I don't have anybody else to eat them but me. So I don't want to eat all that. So wait, so now we're gonna do very, very lightly. We're gonna give it that salty twist of sea salt on top of the whipped cream. And that's it, don't overdo the salt. So all right, so let's touch, oh, that's stuck on the plate there. We're gonna touch them for sure. Let's taste them. Oh my goodness. I think that's the best muffin I've ever had. It's got a slight coffee flavor to it. The hint of the caramel. Hint of the salt. I'm gonna have to have these for myself before everybody gets home. Thank you for joining us in this video. I know it was kind of long, but we did 2 different breads. And I hope you enjoyed learning how to use Pampered Chef products. And if you have any questions, just visit me, Melissa in her kitchen. See ya.